just waiting for Bob here to restart his PC. Meanwhile, we have Kinter here. He's one of our leading devs, along with Bob. So he'll be joining us today for the AMA. Hey Bob, yeah, works perfectly.
Hey, nice. Sorry about that, guys. A little technical difficulty on my end.
Yeah, I think we can kick off the AMA from here. So yeah, first of all, thanks everyone for coming in, tuning in today for the AMA. And yeah, I think there's a lot of questions that are waiting to be answered. We'll go over them today. So I think we should definitely start off with like a small introducing round since we're here with a guest, Rusty Soul. He's from the Candy Shop, also known as the LIQNFT team. So we're working with Rusty Soul and his team to launch the marketplace tomorrow. And yeah, would you be able to introduce yourself a bit, Rusty Soul? And maybe a bit about your background info, the project, and the team that you're working with?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me, Christian. This is Rusty So from the LIQNFT team. We developed this solution called the Candy Shop. Basically, it's a marketplace solution for any NFT DAOs, metaverse game to be able to host their marketplace very easily. Personally, I come from a software engineering background. Graduated a few years back and then basically started in the crypto industry right away. Working a crypto custodian before, working on wallet integration and whatnot. And then, yeah, found this pretty exciting Web3 space. I guess more on the smart contract and then DeFi NFT development part. So yeah, very excited to be on here. And then, yeah, again, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think we're definitely still very early, so it's I would say a quite new journey for all of us, and it's pretty much the first time that we have a voice MA, and it's also the first time that Kingter is coming to the community. So, would you like to introduce yourself a bit, Kinter, so the community members gets to know you a bit more?
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Yeah, it's Kinter. I'm also come from the software engineer background. I joined the crypto world since 2018, and I mainly start from the Solidity environment. So I set up a lot of GameFi and DeFi project in my 2 year experience. And also in this project, I work with Bob. I mainly focus on smart contract, and I initialize all NFTs and review for the mystery box and staking reward, and for the land sale in a couple of days. Yeah, so exciting to be here on stage and join Bob and Christian and just so here. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks so much. And yeah, last but not least, Bob, can you do a small intro, and then I think we can firstly go off by telling a bit about the marketplace story, what went behind the scene, what went wrong, and how we took the approach.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, I'm Bob. I'm the lead dev here at Solice. I basically oversee all blockchain related operations, including the back end and the front end. So we have basically a team that works closely with the game engine that's separate from us, and we are the ones that are plugging it into the blockchain. Um, so let's just start with the marketplace. I'm sure we have many listeners here that wondered what went wrong and why we had to delay our official initial launch. So we started building the marketplace back in December, and we were relying on the Metaplex storefront. For those who don't know, that is the official Solana community marketplace software. So we had it all up and running already in February and did a lot of testing. It looked all to work. And then when we wanted to go live a few weeks ago, we did a final test run and we noticed that when listing a NFT, the marketplace would burn it. So that was very worrisome. So we started quickly looking for solutions, and it turned out that this was happening everywhere, not only to Solice, but also other projects that were using the same implementation. Um, so that was quite quite a journey. So I luckily we found the candy shop guys basically the same day, and we saw that they were also writing a new marketplace completely from scratch, using the latest protocol ways that does work with the Metaplex contracts, from my understanding. So we are very thankful for the candy shop team. They've been working with us nonstop the last few days, the last week actually, and we basically were able to rebuild the entire marketplace with them from scratch. And in my opinion, it's a much better marketplace. So it's loading much better. It's very quick. Transactions are not failing anymore, which is good. We can list items, we can sell them in SLC, we can buy them. So that's all very exciting stuff. Um, and not only that, what the candy shop team has been building, the way that they built the marketplace means that we can also integrate it in our backend, meaning that we can also integrate it into the metaverse itself, which is very exciting. Um, so I was thinking maybe Rusty, you can tell us a bit more about your journey and why you guys decided to build Candy Shop. And what was it? Was it because you guys saw the same issues that we were having with Metaplex, or is there a story behind that?
Yeah, definitely. I guess starting out building in Solana. Well, I mean, from the surface, right? People know Solana blockchain as a very high TPS blockchain. Currently, it takes around 2,500 transactions per second, which is obviously, I think, the fastest chain out there right now. But then, if you look at taking the world's transaction volume onto the chain, it's still far away, right? If you look at Visa trading volume, at least it's a few 100,000 transaction per second. So we're still far away from that vision. But then, yeah, I mean, team in Solana blockchain they're pretty dedicated to the vision, so still building out very fast. But obviously, right, at a very early stage of the chain itself, people encounters a lot of problem, and one of the biggest problem we see was a lot of people trying to load data from the blockchain node directly. This caused a lot of problems because if you, especially looking at the Metaplex, all right, in the beginning, they're trying to go with a fully on-chain method, meaning your website directly connects to a node. Yeah, and then in that case, you need to either have a very, very fast node, or you can easily just basically take down the node itself if you have a very popular mint going on. So yeah, we kind of spotted that problem, and then we're like, okay, how do we fix it, right? So we came up with a neater solution because so going back to the thing I was talking about, you have a website connected to the node directly. I think maybe I mean a lot of on-chain hardcore people will be like, hey, yeah, this is the way to do it. But I think the technology is probably not that mature. And if you really want to have a node that really can take this kind of very big volume, you have to pay a lot for it, right? So we came up with a very cost-effective method. So in the background, we have an indexer that kind of takes data from the blockchain node, and then we build a centralized server. Basically, it's a reader that takes in, we track the Candy Shop program, trying to basically take in all the transaction that has been happening with the program. And then we do a background kind of processing. We remap the data so that all the projects that use the Candy Shop engine can easily fetch the data that they're interested in. Because with the Solana native kind of development way, a lot of data are very, very hard to read. And we kind of wrap it, right? We wrap a layer on top of it, and then provide all the NFT projects a very, very easy way to understand, hey, what's going on with their sell order, with their buy, with their past transaction history, all these kind of functionality. That's how we kind of went about it. But obviously, right, like in the space, you still see a lot of people having issue with a very crazy loading of the Solana chain. Yeah, I guess that's how we spot the issue and trying to fix it.
Yeah. No, that sounds very familiar for me. So, for those who don't know, I have been building with blockchain solutions since around 2013, 2014. And back in the day, Bitcoin still has a 10-minute block time. So you don't get that issue, right? Because you have slower blocks. But then around 2014, 15, you started getting 30-second block times. And then what we saw was that a lot of these blockchains had to start making second layer solutions where they would index the blockchain and basically offer centralized APIs where all of these UIs and client side projects could communicate to. Because I remember, or when we started the marketplace project and we used Metaplex, I it took 15 minutes to load sometimes. So I was like, what's going on? And I thought maybe it would go faster if we would connect it to our private node. So I connected it to our node, and I saw that our store started making 1.5 million requests per 10 minutes. I'm like, this is insane. I
Yeah.
can definitely understand the route you guys took, and it totally makes
Yes.
sense. Yeah.
Sounds very familiar.
Yes. So what is what's basically the vision of Candy Shop? From my understanding, it works with Metaplex in the sense that if you have NFTs on the Solana network, it easily works with Candy Shop. You just have to create a new shop ID. Um,
Yeah, I guess the vision of Candy Shop is really to serve, to serve the NFT projects out there. Because if you look at nowadays, the bigger NFT marketplaces, Magic Eden, OpenSea, I mean, they're doing a great job for trading NFTs. But at the end of the day, I guess it's a part of the hype that people are, at this stage of the market, very used to this flipping kind of way. Therefore, you have these, like more of an aggregated or, a marketplace that takes up all the NFT projects because NFT project want to list on the marketplace and then, get it traded. But then I guess that's a trade of the current market phase. But then if you look at the long term, right, you need something more solid, as in, apart from just trading, right, you need, as, I mean, as a, like what you guys have been building at Solice, right? You're building a metaverse. In the metaverse, you have stores, all that kind of thing, right? And how do you retain the user? Because user, when they're in the metaplex, they don't want to go to Magic Eden to buy stuff or sell stuff. They want to be in that metaplex and have an immersive experience whereby they can do everything inside the metaverse, right? And same for the gaming, same for the blockchain gaming stuff. So this is how it kind of started, and then we're like, oh, this is maybe how this is how we can serve the community really. And then yeah, our Candy Shop contract is built on top of this Metaplex auction house program. We treat it as a very base layer of the settlement logic. So settlement as in when someone buys an NFT, and then where it's a moment where the NFT holder exchange the NFT with a buyer, right? So we treat that part as a very very core fundamental layer of the trading NFT trading logic, right? We built another program called the Candy Shop on top of it. In the future we're gonna implement more features on top of it, not just the current simple buy and sell that we offer. So you can expect, I guess, something like auction or even what I guess also depends on the user's demand, like what they want, especially in the gaming context or in the metaverse context. So having this extra layer Candy Shop on top of the auction house really kind of empowers us in terms of implementing more cool function that Metaplex might not be focusing on, because they're really focusing on building the NFT standard, that kind of stuff. But then we expand the use case of these NFTs.
no, completely. Yeah. And I can understand Metaplex, they're a very large foundation, and the storefront is not their only project. So they have plenty to do. But I think what you guys are doing is very important for the Solana space, the ecosystem, because at the moment, we basically have a scenario where everybody has to go to a centralized exchange like Magic Eden, where unfortunately there wasn't a solution out there that allowed projects and companies to easily start their own marketplace with their own token. So we were able to get the Metaplex storefront running with Solana, no issue. But the second we introduced our own token on it, everything started going wrong.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I guess that's also a very good point. You know, Candy Shop, it's built with, you know, a mission to empower the NFT community. What I mean by that, it's, you know, NFT community, some of them have their own token. We really want to, you know, help these projects to be able to, because if you have an own token, normally it means some sort of denomination in a game in the metaverse, right? So we want to, as I said, right, Candy Shop is an immersive, you know, backend, or you can think of it as an engine, but helping these projects to use their, you know, to enable the user to use their token in the game or in the metaverse.
yeah, no, exactly. So yeah, so Kingster, as one of our main developers here, he has been minting all of the NFTs for us, as well as organizing the staking, the land NFTs, the Genesis, and the avatars. And maybe Kingster, you could tell us about your experience working with Candy Shop the past few days. I
Yes,
know.
yeah, my pleasure. Yeah. So before we share some experience before we work with Candy Shop, we encounter a lot of kind of issues, delays, and failures with Solana chains if you work on this directly. Lately, we found a Candy Shop. When I work with John, oh, boom, everything goes smoothly. So we basically we can load all the NFT to the Candy Shop for the sale in just hours. Compared to first time we maybe work on days to just to mint up the NFTs for days. But in Candy Shop we can list very quickly, and also we test this our selling and buying this process on Candy Shop, and everything goes smoothly. And we do a lot of things to make sure our public sale going to be very smoothly for every users to have a better experience on public sale for buying their own lands or selling or avatars to list their own avatars on our Candy Shop. We test every workflow, so it's a very great experience with Candy Shop. Yeah, it's so very glad we can have with past partner with Candy Shop for doing in public sale tomorrow. Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, no, it loads amazingly quick compared to our first marketplace. And how many days did it take you to mint to upload the NFTs on the old place marketplace?
Okay, just 10 hours.
10 hours, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before it took?
Before it maybe take a couple days.
Oh man,
And
yeah,
because of solar chain, if you communicate with the solar chains directly, there's a lot of failures due to the RPC workload. They can transaction going to fail, and you have to retry. But you have to figure out what FT is fail and what FT transaction is not fail. Just kind of need more time to be confirmed. So you have to distinguish each difference of these failures. So they take a lot of time to handle these failures. But
Yeah.
with Candy Shop, boom, this everything is goes smoothly. Yeah,
It goes
great,
very
wonderful
smooth.
experience.
Yeah, and I think Rusty Soul just said that they're still working on many futures, and it's good to know for everyone here. Unfortunately, the auctions aren't ready yet, so we're only doing the land sale where users can buy and sell in SLC directly. So that means that we can only do the 1x1s and the 3x3s, and we will have to wait for the Candy Shop team to get to those auctions. I think something else that's worth mentioning is that we agreed part of our partnership with LIQNFT, the team behind Candy Shop, is that we have a 1% trader's fee on top of every sale on our marketplace. We made it 1% so that it's still 50% cheaper than Magic Eden, giving our users a discount. But out of that 1%, 0.8 percent goes to LIQNFT because we would like to commit to a long-term partnership, but also fund Candy Shop and fund all of the future software that you guys will be working on. So we're very pleased with that and happy.
Yeah, thanks for the support on the long-term development of this Candy Shop initiative.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so it also basically draws back to one of the questions will be whether there's going to be a estimated time arrival for the auction. If Rusty still can enlighten us a little bit more about the progress there.
Yeah, I guess this auction, I couldn't promise on the timeline, but I guess you can expect it. Like the exact timeline, I cannot tell. I guess because it's a lot of features still being built in the background. But maybe in 1 or 2 months, you can see that coming to fruition.
Right. So there's still a lot of to do. I see that you guys are very active, so I'm subscribed to your GitHub every morning. I get about 50 to 100 emails with updates. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot to do.
So Candy Shop, right? So obviously we're trying to make the user experience, very, very optimal. So you see every day there's a lot of commits going in. Some of them are fixing the front end user experience part. Some of them are the back end fixes. Yeah, just a lot of things going on generally. But then I guess going back to the point of, rolling out the auction feature, we really don't want to, like many other projects, they rush out stuff and then, when the auction launches and then things go broken. We really want to test it out and then make sure the launch is as smooth as possible. That's why we kind of take our time, but then we make sure the quality is pretty good.
Oh, definitely. That's what we appreciate about you guys. So it's good to see, refreshing to see that in the crypto space.
Yeah, I totally get you.
Yeah, and then I'll go a little bit over one of the questions that is about the delay that we had in the roadmap. So I'd like to address that in the past 2 months. There has been some re-engaging issues back in China with COVID-19. So as many of you guys know, we have like a couple separate teams. So for us, the development team on the blockchain side, we're mainly based in the US and also in Europe. That's all fine. But the main VR development team and the studios that we're working with, they are actually based in mainland China. And in China, the COVID recently just broke out again. And for them to get back into the office, they basically need to do a COVID test every single morning to simply get into the office. And at some worse cities, I would say, it's restricted to even go outside, so people are locked up in their homes. So it could be that there might be some small delays, and some people are getting sick as well. So that's a small clarification for some of the delays on the soft launch side, but we're basically getting there now. So we are also doing a giveaway for Oculus along with um, the chance to enter the soft launch. So that's basically live on Twitter right now. So if there's anyone that's interested to participate for it, head over to our Twitter, join our Oculus giveaway, and you might win a chance to test out the soft launch.
Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, and like the delays are always part of software development. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but we what we're doing is completely new. Not only what we are doing, but what Solana is doing, what Rusty and Candy Shop are doing. At the end of the day, everything is still in beta. The blockchain is in beta, and Solana as a network still has a bunch of issues that it has to overcome. The main issue is we saw that with the pre-sale of the land, where a lot of transactions currently fail. So
Hmm.
what Candy Shop has built should prevent that. So for anyone that wants to participate in the public sale, if you're trying to buy land and the transaction fails, you keep your money this time. So previously we had an issue where it would take a user's money, the SLC tokens, but they would not get an NFT back, so they got stuck. We fixed that issue, but as we're building, we run into a lot of these issues, and these are issues that we are not only having, but the entire community is having, and not even in Solana, but also in blockchain as a whole. Um, it's one thing to get a blockchain running, but it's another thing to build very complicated applications that live on top of that and can speak in it with real time. So there's a lot of challenges ahead, but it's looking good so far. And people like Rusty and his team, they're definitely adding a lot of value to this space.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess that's also why the Solana mainnet is called mainnet beta, because it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
completely, yeah, developed and deployed yet. So we're all basically in this whole new era, this whole new Web3 craze. So there's still a lot to be improved. I think we can all agree on that.
definitely. We're in a beta in a beta. That's what I like to think.
Yeah. So there were also a lot of questions about um like which investors that might have sold tokens during the first distributions. So there's a lot of reasons behind it, which why we are not going to talk about it. Not just because of the contract that we signed under the NDA, but also to avoid certain regulations. In generally, we'd like to avoid discussions regarding prices or like exchange listings due to the nature in crypto for the safety reasons. So for those questions, we're very unfortunate we're not able to answer those. Um, but we do have another question that's re involving the lands. So someone asked, can I insert a image for the land that I'm about to purchase or the land that I already own? Do we have a feature for that uh, in the pipeline, Bob?
Yeah, definitely. So this is still pretty far out, but
Mhm.
once we have the game running, of course, and people can log in and they can trade items. Well, one of the things that we would love to see is customization, so that people can not only customize their land but also their avatars even. Um, so how I see it, somewhere in the future, users would be able to log in and customize, the image of their land, and maybe add some
Mhm.
descriptions, which would automatically be loaded on the map. Not only that, what we're also looking in is integrating a marketplace into the map viewer, which is possible now with Candy Shop. So that, for example, someone can list their land for sale, and you can see it on the map, and then you can click that piece of land, and you can buy it right in the map. Um, so we have a bunch of ideas, but of course, like the issue is always time, and you know, that lack of people, so that we can never have more people than possible.
Yes, that links also back to one of the questions, like how did the team size change over the past months? So I'd like to address that. Currently, our team has expanded to around 15 full-time employees. Also, we're having a couple of candidates for to join the development team on the blockchain and smart contract side. So Bob and I are going to review over the candidates in the upcoming week or so, and then we're gonna interview the ones that we think that might be a good fit for the team and try to onboard them.
Yeah, yeah. The past month or two, we actually, all of quarter one, we were so busy just trying to get all of the NFTs minted, working on the staking protocol, getting the map up. But in the meanwhile, we got over 15 developer applications. Of course, there is always a delay with onboarding developers because we have to interview them, pick a few, and then it takes, like a few weeks for them to see what we're doing, get used to our code. So we waited with onboarding these developers after the marketplace is done so that we have some space to breathe again and we can start our next phase. So for our next phase, from a development point of view, we mainly want to start focusing on staking. Not only in-game staking, where users will be able to stake SLC in their land for drop rewards, but also out-game staking, where users can stake NFTs on a website and get rewards. Something else that we are moving to now is working more with smart contracts. Um, so we're looking into Anchor, which is built by Serum, and we're also looking into Serum, which is a second layer built around Solana to facilitate all of our in-game trading. And that way, we hope to avoid running into the issues that we are running into now with a lot of transactions failing. So that's basically the outlook for this quarter for
Yeah, I
development.
think
That
that
is.
perfectly sums up and also answers one of the questions regarding the stability of the network issues, because they were also questioning about
Yeah.
how we would scale up as we grow as a project.
Right.
So I think that's definitely a part of it. And we're also looking into like hybrid solutions. So we do certain amounts of the in-game content like off-chain, so we don't
Yeah.
put all the pressures on Solana
Yeah.
itself.
There are a bunch of ways that we can go around it that we have identified, and we're basically now in a research and development phase. So with that, we're trying them all. One way is what Rusty and his team did, which is sort of create a second layer that indexes everything and batches transactions. Another option, or we can also use all of them at the same time, or a mix of these solutions. But another thing that we're looking into is that we introduce some type of system in the game where, let's say, not every transaction is done on Solana in real time, but we do them off chain and then we batch them in blocks. So basically, how a blockchain works, but that we put every 1,000 transactions at once on the chain. So that it's still on the ledger and people can verify that it happened, but that we're not spamming the ledger, like in real time. And then we're looking at Serum. So Serum is actually a very interesting candidate because Serum is a second layer network that they built around Solana and on Solana. And it is basically built by FTX, and all of the big dexes use that. So if you ever have wondered why transactions always work on Dexis and Solana swap websites, but fail on little small websites, it's because they are using Serum. So we definitely want to look into that too.
Yeah, team at LIQNFT also have experience on this, so you can definitely can help you guys out.
Oh, then I'll definitely knock on your door. Yeah.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I think that sums up most of the important questions here for this hour. And yeah, I would like to thank everyone that has participating today. And we're also having another AMA/Twitter space session at the LIQNFT's Twitter space. So if there's more things that you guys would like to know, make sure to join us and participate on Thursday as well.
Cool.
All right, so yeah, thank you guys for your time. Thank you, Rusty, again for everything, and then I'll catch up with you guys on Thursday again.
Yeah, thank you, Team Solice.
Thank you.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Thank
Ciao.
you. Take care.